Hello everyone, my name is Fox. In this particular video, we're going to be taking a look at the TouchProtect accessories for the Steam Deck. You may have seen these in a few videos that I've already done. These are just little cosmetic pieces that you can apply over the Steam pads on the Steam Deck, and we'll very quickly get into this. They don't interrupt anything with touch at all. So if you were worried that they were going to interfere with touch, they really don't. And this is not just SteamOS either. This also will apply to Windows. There is no perceptible change at all with these controllers covers on, so that's really cool. Additionally, they do make covers for the DualSense as well, so they cover that. We're going to be covering a few different samples that they sent me, so thank you very much to coloredcontrollers.com for sending these out to me for review. You can see their link in the description field below. So we're going to go over and kind of touch base on what they offer. So up first is what they call Mirage. So this is a pattern that is kind of camouflage, and you can kind of see it here. Now this doesn't really offer any particular feeling on top of it, so it's really just going to be the color and pattern that you would like. Next up we have Satin. Now this is pretty much what the pattern does is how it's going to reflect light and how that's going to hit. So that's really what's going to offer you the difference when you kind of have this particular color and pattern on the Steam pads themselves. This is what red looks like. Next up, we have the hex pattern, and this is probably my least favorite of the bunch. So this is the one that will have a raised texture on it, and I don't really like the texture. There's also this silver one that you see here that I have on my Windows version, and I don't really prefer it. I don't like having an additional texture on top of it. I don't feel like this is good in my particular preference. So out of all of them, the hex one is something that I don't really like, even though I do kind of like the pattern. I don't like the feel of it. This is blue, and I also got sent black. They also do have some other ones, but I don't have all of them. This is Mini Hex, and Mini Hex I think is actually my absolute favorite out of all of them. There is a tiny bit of texture on it, but it's uniform in feel. So overall, I kind of like the Mini Hex the most in terms of feel and pattern, but that's, you know, just my opinion, right? Like, if you don't like this, then you don't like it, but this is kind of where it is. Those were the samples that were sent to me, and those are the only things that I can kind of really talk about. Now they have the kind of contrasting colors, the orange and blue that they have on like movie posters and stuff. This is really cool. I actually like the color layout here for this. So I'm kind of going to keep this for my SteamOS build, and for my Windows build, I'll probably be switching them out. I'll kind of show you what that looks like in terms of removing and reapplying. So if we were to just remove this, right, you can see that we have it here. Now if you wanted to reapply it, now I've already done this a few times already. I don't know what the maximum amount of times you can apply and reapply is. So if you were worried that, like, you know, you only have like one chance to get this right, you really don't. You can kind of just keep on pulling it off and reapplying. Again, I've only done this like 4 or 5 times at this point. But pretty cool that you can just keep on, you know, resticking and sticking if you feel like you didn't get the placement right. You don't really have to worry about it, or even where there's creases from pulling it back up. So that's pretty good when we're talking about, you know, the quality of the particular material and type of stuff. We'll take a look at some different color combinations, but before we do that, I kind of want to segue into the thing that we have to be mindful of here is that there is haptics underneath the touchpads themselves, and one of the things in my review was that when you have your thumb over the touchpad, because the haptics are where the rumble comes from on the Steam Deck, there is rumble emulation by the haptics themselves, and when you put your thumb on this, your thumb could absorb that rumble emulation a lot and make rumble worse overall. So one of the things that I was concerned about was having any type of weight or material over the Steam pad. Would that interfere with rumble? And it turns out that there is what I could feel as the slightest bit of absorption of rumble emulation. For the most part, it really didn't impact it at all, but I would say that it does impact it the slightest percent. If I had to put like a percentage on it, it's like a 5% reduction in rumble feel. One of the things that I really like to show off is in Portal 2, right in the beginning scene, it goes through a very quick instance where there's a bunch of rumble going on without you really needing to move around. You can kind of just hold it in your hand to kind of close your eyes and feel the rumble, and you don't have to do anything, which is kind of nice because it's repeatable. So it's one kind of benchmark for rumble that I really like to use. So I'm gonna, play a little bit here just to show you that nothing really is impacted at all here. It's exactly how you would anticipate it working. So I'm just playing a game like Civ where you're going to be using the touchpads a lot for moving around and needing relatively accurate mousing ability on here. So you can just kind of see that that works exactly as it should. Gonna give some look. This is like a 3D look, like the old 3D glasses kind of look. I kind of like this. I think I'm going to keep this on my Windows build, but we're going to take a look at some other particular covers as well. All right, here is the mini hex. Now this is something that the pattern I really, really like, but the black kind of matches the overall case color, so it can be almost like a stealth thing that you're putting over there. The pattern and texture over it isn't better than not having anything there, just the default steam pads. I really, really enjoy this pattern though. I just wish that this came in different colors. All right, next up we're going to use this camouflage pattern. And for what it's worth, I'm not really all that big on camouflage patterns as it is. And I don't know. Like even when the black version, I don't know why you'd get the color that matches the shell. Maybe you want that. Maybe you just want just a tiny hint of something different there. But overall, I prefer having something that is a little bit flashier in color, something that stands out. I don't particularly like the camouflage or mirage, whatever they call it. I don't know, I'm not really feeling the mirage camouflage type of feel, especially if it's in just like a very base stock color. That one's not for me. I really like the ones that stand out. I'm gonna go back to the 3D glasses look for my Windows build. So that's pretty much the end of my review here on the TouchProtect accessories. The one thing that I would say that when you were ordering this is that I wish that they offered a way to kind of pick two colors for one pack, because buying one at like $13 or whatever is fine. Okay, not a big investment and you can kind of customize it as you want. But to buy two $26 worth just to get two different colors, that's something that I wish that you could just not do. Like you can just choose two colors to be put in one pack. I can understand that would be more frustrating for colorcontrollers.com, the one guy that's running it, to kind of sort these out and make sure that he gets it right, and you would want to avoid that. The other thing is that looking at the site, it looks like Mini Hex only comes in black, which is a bit unfortunate. I wish that they had different colors for Mini Hex because I really like Mini Hex itself. So that's my look at the TouchProtect accessory by ColoredControllers.com. As always, guys, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.